Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be doing another video. It's going to be a death battle. Today we're going to be doing Simon the Digger versus Kylie Rayner. And honestly, oh my god, I don't know this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know this matchup. This is actually one of those I don't know moments. Because this is such a... This is going to be such a, like, Digger, please. Okay. Alright. Okay. That's what I get for reading chat. Alright. Hey, yo, chat. No, bad chat, bad. That's a bad. That was a cheap shot. Okay, stop. I can't have that in a YouTube video. But but it's gonna be very interesting. Both are extremely strong. One is a white lantern, which is already a big feat to begin with, right? Another one, well, is humanity's spirit, right? Like, I know that's not literally it, but you know, I've seen the fight. I know what this man could do with the anti-spiral. So like, please, chat, no, chat, please stop, no, bad, dogman, dope. Anyways, that being said, who do I choose to win? Just off of principle, just off of ideology. Off of ideas, who would I choose to win? If I could choose one to win, and who would I vote for? Who would have my thing? I'm sorry. As much as I think the White Lanterns are cool, as much as I think everything the humanity is cool, and all that, I don't know. I legit don't know. Either one would be cool. Either one would be peak. But like, out of principle, I have to go with. I have to go with Simon. I'm sorry. I gotta go with Simon. Just because it's too epic. The anti-spiral fight, too epic. All right, I'm fanboying this one through, and I'm doing it to the end. So with that being said, let's get right into it.
Simon the Digger, Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern. Two men born of Earth with the willpower to pierce the heavens and conquer infinity.
Yes.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Deep underground, Jiha Village lived in dreary isolation, oblivious to the wider world above their squalid cave.
That's where the hero of our story comes in. The young man who would lead his comrades into the sunlight at last. Kamina, the great and mighty. Oh, and his little brother from another mother, Simon. He was there too, I guess.
Simon was
don't plan it. Don't blame him.
Endlessly through the dirt until the day he found the core drill.
A key that activated the mysterious buried mech that Kamina named Lagann. Under his magnificently masculine leadership, Kamina finally drilled their way to freedom, seeing the sun after a life in the dark.
But the sky was by no means the limit. The surface was ruled by the cruel chimeric beastmen, and Kamina would lead his compatriots against them to reclaim the earth for humanity, scoring a second mech in the process, aptly named Gurren.
And as befits Kamina and Simon's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagann merged, creating Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, baby.
These two were unstoppable.
Of all the giant fighting robots in all the animes across history, Gurren Lagann might just be the absolute coolest, fueled by its pilot's willpower.
That's a statement. I don't know if I agree with that. It's one of the top best.
Including missiles, a jetpack, a sunglasses boomerang, and of course...
drills! Wrist-mounted drills, kunai drills, shield drills, kamehameha drills, and everyone's favorite, the Giga Drill Bureku! Side note, it is so funny that the only thing they could think of was drills. That's like if I made booze or something, my whole personality. What up?
With Gurren Lagann's awesome power, Kamina laid waste to enemy forces, liberated human villages, and fomented a rebellion against the Beastmen King, Lord Genome.
Until Kamina died.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, shit, was that supposed to happen?
Nope, and it was all Simon's fault. He let his willpower waver, and his soul brother paid the price. After all, he was just a humble digger, at home in the darkness, guided solely by the light of Kamina's spirit.
So his big bro left him with these final words. Have faith in the Simon who believes in you. damn.
Kamina was the one looking up to
Yeah,
him the whole time. It was Simone who found Lagann, Simone who pierced the surface, and Simone who would now lead humanity to victory.
Especially with his gal pal Nia
Ah.
on his side.
No, why? I forgot about this. Oh no, I forgot about this. Oh, the tragedy, the agony. No, wait, I completely forgot about this side plot. Not really a side plot, all right, but you know what? I'm thinking about the battle, not about heartbreak. God damn it.
Who helped pull him out of his rut and kick Lord Genome's ass. But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attacked.
Unimaginably powerful godlike aliens, the anti-spiral feared humanity's potential, what they dubbed the spiral nemesis.
Remember how Gurren Lagann runs on fighting spirit? Turns out that's just a manifestation of spiral power, an energy that all spiral beings, like humans, have. That's right, the laws of physics run on chutzpah.
Just as the spiral turned inward represents endless obsession and madness, the spiral turned outward spins
Shut up,
forever into
Chad.
infinity.
Don't you-
The
I saw that
perfect
message.
representation
I don't
of
wanna-
humanity's
shut up.
evolutionary potential.
That boy be
Potential
happy.
Simone would use as he led Team Dai Gurren across the multiverse to take the fight to the anti-spiral. And this is when Gurren Lagann gets crazy.
Channeling spiral power lets you constantly adapt to threats, no matter how overwhelming. Simone can create portals to different realities and higher dimensions. He can generate force fields, absorb energy attacks, and even merge Gurren Lagann with bigger and stronger machines.
Creating
Cool.
the Arc Gurren Lagann, which is strong enough to shatter space and time with a punch.
Or the Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann, which can fire lasers that are fast enough to hit, and I quote, all time, space, and dimensions, all within a Planck instant.
That's the smallest unit of time physically possible.
Meaning each laser would have to be moving 4.6 times
Big
10
number.
to the 117
Big number.
power times faster than light.
Big ass number.
Oh, well, looks like this wins the award for fastest calculated speed feat in our show's history. Congratulations, Gurren Lagann.
Move over, SpongeBob. You've been dethroned. Oh, and the guidebook says they hit an innumerable number of enemies across infinite universes. You literally cannot calculate how fast that is.
But it wasn't enough to escape the anti-spiral's greatest trap, the multiverse labyrinth, an attack that imprisons Simone in his own unique multiverse, forced to experience an infinite number of alternate realities that controlled his mind, permanently arresting him in a dream world.
Except Simone and his spiral power are just built different. And after being inspired by his bro, Simone absorbed that whole multiverse to escape.
What makes this even more impressive is that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional, meaning Simone absorbed a higher dimensional structure several orders of infinity greater than himself. The jump between dimensions is basically infinite. Each new dimension adds a new direction of space that extends infinitely.
Big brain
Thus,
talk.
an
I do not
infinite
understand
gap in
enough
size
to really.
and scope.
You
What?
left me
Oh, we're
behind.
just getting started.
Yeah, what?
Imagine a two-dimensional drawing interacting with a three-dimensional person.
Okay, that's not too far off from what actually happened.
Because when Simone absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate universe version of himself, including an alternate universe Simone who was writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagann. And that author's spiral power made his fictional Simone real, adding another to the mix.
Wait, if every human being has spiral power, you're telling me we can all do this shit?
This all gave our Simone enough spiral power to form the next step in mecha evolution.
Yeah.
Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
This is when Gurren Lagann gets actually fucking crazy. Like shooting missiles that alter probability so they have a 100% chance of hitting you, or tossing galaxies around like frisbees. Sorry, did I say galaxies? I meant universes.
Simone's power was so immense that he started generating super spiral space, a higher dimension encompassing our
Magic
own
words,
universe.
magic
With
man.
it, Simone turns his thoughts into reality, letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place.
Not only does this mean he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or his mech just by willing it back into existence.
Like when Lord Genome used spiral power to survive quantum breakdown, or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe, used spiral
God
power to constantly
damn it.
regenerate her body from being erased at the informational level. for 7 days straight.
Information in physics is essentially the ones and zeros that make up every possible outcome in reality. Nia literally regenerated from the statistical certainty of her own destruction.
If I have spiral power, whiz, when the fuck is my leg growing back?
When even this was not enough for the anti-spiral,
You don't got enough spiral
Simone
power,
evolved
bro.
One
I'm
more
sorry.
time.
It's just gonna be.
Super
There it is.
Gurren
There it is.
This mech is so big, its size is literally incalculable. And with a drill somehow even larger than that, Simone and his friends shattered the anti-spiral once and for all.
Nah, I didn't show the fight. Oh, there you go. It's
Prince of
better.
the universe, meet the indomitable human spirit.
Pretty
Proving
much.
Kamina's words prophetic, that Simone's drill is the drill that would pierce the heavens.
With no more worlds left to conquer, Simone chose to wander the earth for the rest of his days, in service to others.
Always looking up. For all the lights in
Yeah, that's after he lost his wife. Cause God damn it, I forgot about that. Now I'm in tears. I'm in pain. All right, God damn it.
the sky are stars, and every star another world of spiral cousins that can live free.
All thanks to a humble digger.
The universe.
All right,
is a
let's go
dangerous
to
place.
the-
Should you find yourself face
the
to
White
face
Lantern.
with an interdimensional vampire, alien dictators, or this one really pissed off cat, you know who to call.
The Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah,
They're the Space
imagination.
Buzz, an intergalactic police force founded billions of years ago by blue leprechaun gods.
And
You're
the
not
greatest
wrong.
Green Lantern among them was everyone's favorite, Hal Jordan.
You
Yeah.
know him. You love him. You might hate him. But you gotta respect the man with a will as unbreakable as Hal's.
Until the day his will broke.
After his hometown got completely obliterated, Hal lost his mind. He rampaged through the core, killing everyone in his path, and absorbed the central power battery, the literal
Wait,
Green
bro, it's going a
Lantern.
little
Becoming the
bit.
Emerald Tyrant, Parallax.
There
Hey,
was
man's
only
going a little
one
too
survivor
deep
of
into it.
Parallax's killing spree, Ganthet. And with what remained of his strength, he gave the last Green Lantern ring in the universe to a human, Kyle Rayner.
So, was Kyle picked for his indomitable willpower?
You know, they
like Hal
said you
was?
have to
He
do.
was there. He had no idea what was going on. Must feel good being given the most dangerous magical weapon in existence to figure out on your own. Hey, if Colonel Sanders, Daffy Duck, Space Sweet, and a sentient fox can master
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
what's your
You know,
excuse,
you
Kyle?
got
The Green
it.
Lantern ring can do anything, fulfilling any wish its user desires as though it were a genie from a lamp.
It lets you fire energy blasts, create force fields, affect gravity, turn invisible and intangible, manipulate matter, time travel, warp reality, and erase things from existence.
Think we're exaggerating? Well, consider
No,
time Kyle
I do
stretched
not
the
think
very
you're
fabric of
exaggerating.
space to
It does
increase
get
the
that
Planck
crazy.
length a billion times over. That's like stretching an inch into a light year.
Lanterns control time and space, letting them fly so fast they can create a Speed Force singularity.
Tapping into the Speed Force requires entering a higher dimension of space, requiring speeds that are not only faster than light, but totally immeasurable. And the rings have an artificial intelligence that operates just as fast, automatically protecting its user from danger.
Like the time that Poozer Kilowog survived being erased from existence by the Crisis on Infinite Earth.
The ring is fueled by its user's willpower.
did?
and limited
Oh,
only
wow,
by
that's
their
crazy.
Imagination.
While Hal may have had the greatest willpower in the Corps, Kyle's imagination is unmatched, probably because he's a comic book artist. And we know from this show,
Oh
think of
my
some wa-
god. The only reason he won is because he has a better imagination. He's literally what would happen if you gave an actual smart person a good JoJo stand. Or, you know, whatever, a good stand from JoJo's. Like, okay, makes sense.
wild shit.
But the Green Lantern's most recognizable ability is their constructs, Kyle's speciality.
Samurai armor, pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers, and his favorite, super fighting robots. Hey, that one looks familiar.
Kyle can make them strong enough to lift the Spectre, who weighs as much as eternity.
Whoa,
Or
that's
hold back
big.
a 12.3 dimensional Big Bang. Wait, 0.3? DC's multiverse has 12.3 dimensions? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
The ring's only downside is that it's limited to 24 hours before needing a recharge.
So it can blow up universes, but it has the battery of an iPhone. Never mind, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Although I'd say Kyle's biggest weakness was Kyle. With great power came no responsibility.
Perhaps a manifestation of Kyle's self-doubt. Any reflection came too late, though, when one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
Kyle wasn't the only one traumatized. This moment was so infamous, it started the trope called fridging.
For how female characters are often sacrificed as mere plot devices to further a male character's development.
So it might surprise you.
Oh, that's
that
where the term
happened to
came
Kyle
from.
Again.
Kyle finally got serious. He became a prominent member of the Justice League, faced off against Hal, and even rebuilt the Green Lantern Corps better than ever.
But little did he know, this torchbearer's greatest journey had only just begun.
Yeah,
In order to save
considering the
Ganthet
White
from an
Lantern.
emotional lobotomy, it's a long story. He had to master all the colors of the emotional electromagnetic spectrum.
There are 7 colors, each representing a different emotion. The yellow light of
Fear.
fear lets Kyle manipulate the worst horrors in your mind.
I've never seen like a whole joke
the
thing
more
about this
scared
one.
you are of him, the stronger he becomes.
Orange light is fueled by bottomless avarice, possessing Kyle to absorb not merely his enemies' attacks, but also their souls.
Red is rage, ripping out Kyle's heart and replacing his blood with napalm, which sounds like it
That's
sucks, but
cool.
it's metal as hell.
It's
Blue light is
cool.
powered
That's
by
cool.
hope and allows Kyle to heal wounds, resist mental domination, and supercharge his ring.
Indigo is compassion, reducing his opponent's will to fight and letting him open portals across space, connecting him to others.
The final one was the Sapphire Light of Love. With it, he can trap enemies within crystal matrices and control their minds. But Kyle only mastered it by forgiving himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love. I get it. Must
Yeah.
be nice. And with their
Must be
powers
nice and
combined,
crazy.
he doesn't just make his enemies taste the rainbow.
The lights of the spectrum merged, and Kyle became a White Lantern.
There it is.
With total control over the power of life.
Wiz, I cannot think of an attack more useless in a death battle than something that makes you live.
Empowered by the physical embodiment of all life in the DC multiverse, Kyle is vastly more powerful than any other Lantern in existence.
Far stronger than Hal, who could harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse.
Not only can Kyle instantly heal all wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead,
Bro got
the
that.
white light of life is strong enough to go up against threats to all of creation, like the Anti-Monitor.
Oh, that's
Hey, so it's
crazy.
not totally useless.
That's
Especially after
Anti-Monitor,
Kyle
really?
visited
That's
the
crazy.
Source and acquired the life equation. Essentially the source
Oh,
code to reality. The life equation is mathematical proof that life is worth living.
With it, Kyle can alter all of reality at a whim, even threatening the new gods like Darkseid.
The
Yeah.
life equation, like its counterpart, the
Anti-life equation,
is
yeah.
a conceptual artifact from a higher reality, originating in a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a shock that the equation made Kyle too powerful.
He struggled to control it, and it subconsciously manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties.
Oh, that's
Oblivion.
bad.
Kyle's greatest weakness was still himself.
Kyle spent his whole life struggling with the power that the gods granted him, and throughout it all, he always rose to the occasion, carrying the universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to stop power from corrupting is to spread it. So Kyle split the life equation into pieces to found his second core.
The White
Lanterns.
Lanterns.
And
Yeah.
together, they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once and for all.
Not bad for a comic book geek from LA.
And now he
Bro
was
got
the
a
one giving
car.
out rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power of life at their command, there's no end to their journey, only endless beginnings.
Wow, that was very cool. I really like that. All right, that would.
Beerus versus Sailor Galaxia?
No, I haven't watched it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know
More
that.
goodies on the way. The data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
I'm still going for the drill. The drill's still better. I know it doesn't sound as cool for the drill. Come on, it's the drill.
All right, I'm not rusty at all.
Hey dude, Green Lantern Officer Kyle Rayner here. Brink says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagann's mine, officer. Just who the hell do you think you are?
Oh my god, little fighting character. That was cool. vacuum. Oh my god, it's so comical.
Told I'm bad with authority.
Tell me about it. 4.
Oh my, oh my god, the costume. That's I guess that is when you give imagination to a comic book writer. You can just mess around with a bunch of stuff.
Nothing. My drill will pierce the heavens. Take it, Topa, Gurren, Lagann.
Okay. Alright. Alright. Oh my god, it's Superman. Oh my god, that's cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, is it cool?
Lantern. We do the impossible.
See the invisible.
Touch the
These are just they would be so much. I think they'd be friends IRL. Okay.
Now you know.
This is so cool. What is this?
Simone the Digger. If there's a wall in my way, I'll smash it down.
All right. Okay. I don't want any of them to lose. Oh no, he's using literal torso. Yeah. Oh, that what that was? Okay.
Think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion for me, your hope for the future. Choose life.
Have faith in the Simone that
He
believes
in you. Oh my god, he's gonna. Ah, it's cool. It's awesome. Epic.
Super taking Topa, Gurren, Lagann.
Oh, there's Max form.
Drill is the drill that will transcend the heavens. Giga drill free.
There is so much happening here. What the? I don't understand what that is, but good. Oh my, what? Ah, I don't know. I don't understand. I'm just enjoying this. Infinity, correct.
The super weapon wasn't your mech.
It was me.
Then, Simone, I'm taking you in brightest day.
Oh my god, they're doing it! They're doing it!
shall
The
escape
fight
my sight.
sequence!
Let
They're
those
just
who
fighting!
worship evil's might. Beware my power. Green Lantern fly!
That's amazing. They're literally redoing it. No, come on, let's see. Okay.
Let's see you
Ooh.
grit those teeth.
Oh my god!
You'd make a good lantern.
He would make a good lantern.
Simon of Earth, you have been chosen.
Oh,
Just who the hell do you think I am?
he wouldn't. I don't know if he accepted, but let's
The
go!
guy with the snazzy
Let's
sunglasses.
go!
When both combatants possessed unlimited power,
I'm just happy
it's
this
hard to
happened.
judge them by our normal standards.
I'm just
Take
happy this
speed.
happened. This
Simone
is
can hit
epic.
an infinite number of targets all at once, and Kyle can fly fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed itself.
When you control space and time, things like strength and speed kind of become irrelevant.
Instead, let's analyze them through a lens more applicable to beings as absurd as Simone and Kyle. Their imagination, their willpower, and their ultimate potential.
Okay.
First up,
Okay.
imagination. The boundless things they could conjure to use against the other. Both could think up just about anything the other could, like absorbing each other's attacks, fighting across time, anything.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability-altering missiles, but it's likely Kyle could adapt considering his ring could protect against existence
yes,
being erased
erased.
across the multiverse.
And in
Okay.
general, Kyle's constructs were a lot more creative than Simone's arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, nothing Simone couldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption. Imagination is a draw.
That leaves the other main factor for both characters, the origin of their unbelievable might, their
Oh
willpower.
my god,
And
the
that's
other guy
really
doubts
gonna be the
himself
winning
so
factor
much.
here, since
Yeah.
it's the source of everything for both of them. Whoever's
Okay.
got the stronger willpower
I get it
wins.
now. I
Both
get
can
it.
manipulate
I
reality
get
on a
it. I get it.
multiversal
Okay, it
scale
makes
with their
sense now.
willpower, but we can use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference. This might sound absurd for most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because if there's one thing both of these guys are known for, it's that they can always get stronger.
So to determine the limits of their willpower, we first need to understand their full potential.
Okay.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power
Alright.
is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So just because Simone starts off weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing the multiverse labyrinth required Simone to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant. Simone made himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle, especially since spiral power also lets him regenerate his body down to an informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something that thoroughly before.
Without the ability to easily kill Simone, it was only a matter of time before Kyle's ring ran low on charge. Especially since Simone could likely regenerate for at least a week straight.
Right.
While Blue Lantern Light could
Better
boost
energy
Kyle's power,
source.
he's never jumped several
Or
orders
longer
of
lasting.
infinity in strength like Simone has.
And while Kyle could manipulate emotions to reduce Simone's willpower, Simone resisting the labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could
way on
power
par,
through
higher
anything
power.
Kyle threw at
Yeah.
him.
Everything,
Yeah.
that is, except for the life equation. It originated from a higher level of reality and would have more than even the odds.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was just as much a detriment to him as an asset, forcing him to relinquish it to keep from destroying reality and himself.
Compare that to Simone, who merged with a version of himself writing a version of Gurren Lagann, and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level of reality to the life equation, and a level of power Simone had no trouble embracing and mastering by the end of his story. No matter how you look
Okay,
at it,
alright,
Simone
that
might
makes
start
sense.
Weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway? That's Gurren Lagann in a nutshell.
So Simone's incredible potential eclipsed Kyle, which means his willpower was ultimately greater. Kyle may have embodied life itself, but Simone's unstoppable evolutionary potential would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight, because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
The winner is
Okay,
Simone
that was
the
a lower
Digger.
joke. Okay, hold up. Before we go to next time, that was great. I love this one. I gotta like this one. That was great. That was amazing death battle. I loved it. Oh my god, it was amazing. It was just me enjoying the bright lights in the sky and powers I could never comprehend. But my god, it was great. I love both characters. Amazing. All right, well, who are we getting next?
Time on death battle.
What? No way. Oh, that's gonna be some loony. That's gonna be some Tooth
Subscribe
Force.
and join as a member to
Why the Coyote versus Tomcat? Oh my god. Okay. Tomcat right away. That's what I'm guessing. That's what I'm getting. I'm already gonna put my bets ahead of time. All right, I'm pre-betting here. All right, Tomcat has to be Tomcat. All right, it has to be Tomcat. That is something I will 100% believe. But that was great. I enjoyed that. That was so fun. That was very much fun. But as always, the original video is gonna be top of the description down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe. You do enjoy my content though, because I do be just a very stupid reacting VTuber. So if you enjoyed my content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Tom has a episode where he dies off screen. Yeah, but like I kind of stupid, you know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will be catching you guys later. Stop!